Blazing Seattle's new hip-hop and R&B, X104. What's going on? You're in the nest with the goose, about 12:15 p.m. So, whatever, I can use that part. Let's see here. Zap Brannigan, master of time and space, everything else in between, and winner this year's Modesty Award. It slices, it dices, it'll do your taxes and wax your car. New from Luck County. I went out of focus on that.
I think you were a little out of focus at the beginning as well.
Yeah, thanks. I'll just start over. I naturally lean, you know.
Yeah. No, I kind of like it when you pop in and out of focus.
Yeah, Gustavo wouldn't. Right about there. All right. How do my levels look over there? I'm looking. It slices, it dices. That's great. All right. So ready?
Yeah.
Blazing Seattle's new hip-hop and R&B, X104. What's going on? You're in the nest with the goose. Baker Boys Hip Hop Master Mix on X104 is brought to you by Trojan Warm Sensations Lubricant. That was a commercial I actually did.
I guess some of my earliest memories are on the couch with my dad watching The Adventures of Tintin. And when you see that, people like, oh, it's a good story, or you like the animation or whatever. But I always liked the voices behind it, and I started imitating them. So I guess that's really how I got involved in voice acting. What really got me into it was like I would goof around and make noises and stuff. And some of my favorite early cartoons I watched as a kid, Flintstones, Jetsons, Scooby-Doo. And it's just been a passion of mine. And eventually when I got into high school, we had a radio station, so I had access to recording equipment, and I did commercials for them, and did that for a few years, and I thought I wanted to go into radio. Then I got out into the field and I tried it a bit and I realized it wasn't for me. But I still love trying to come up with new voices. I do amateur voice acting online. It's just always been a passion of mine, I guess. And the thing with voice acting, though, is I'd say it's even more of a restricted field than acting, because they always say, keep your day job. With acting, it's like doubly that. Over there, it's like you're a voice actor and you keep your job. It's not you become an actor, do well, and lose it. Because there's only about 5 guys who make a living voice acting. When you're doing voice acting, really, everyone's got a unique voice, and you try and impersonate the voices of other people, but you can never really truly get 100%. Even guys who have these great impressions, they're never really that voice. And sometimes when you screw up a voice, you're able to merge them. For me, I guess I think of Zap Brannigan and the Fox announcer. I don't do Zap Brannigan to me is Zap Brannigan, master of time and space, and then the Fox announcer is Family Guy, Sunday night at 8 on Fox. So when you put those together, you get this interesting twist, and it's Family Guy, Sunday night at 8 on Fox. So you take the inflections of one and put it over more with the tone of the other, and you create a new voice. Fooling around, I think that's really playing with it is how you discover your voice, I suppose. Not being afraid to get silly. Let's see here. And really quick. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do some tongue twister stuff now. Yeah. It's everyone loves the old tongue twister of, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck, right? And no one really looks at the lips when they're doing that. But when you get someone who goes really fast and you see this, it's how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, a woodchuck could, hang on. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, a woodchuck would chuck all the wood, a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood. It's whoa. I think I know song especially, there's Scatman John did the Scatman's World, and you see that, and a lot of that is just his lips, because it was this guy with this stutter, and he worked to create that voice, and you just see him go so fast, and he's going, everybody stutters one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, don't let nothing hold you back. If the Scatman can do it, brother, so can you. I'm the Scatman. And this is a guy who couldn't even form a sentence. Right, what other stuff do I want to do? Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind. Oh, what other voices do I have? Let my army be the land and the sea and the birds in the sky. Let's see. I had that incredible nervousness when I first started back in radio. And I would get on there and I'd be, Blazing Seattle's new hip-hop and R&B X104. I just flew through it because I was so nervous. And Patrick Legreed, my mentor, guy was twice my width, barrel-chested, told me, he said, look, don't be nervous. They can't see you. And don't be angry. Don't be frustrated. Just go out there and do your thing, because you've only got like 5 seconds on the radio. And you do it, and it's done. It's over. Those 5 seconds are gone for your spot or whatever. And why would you be frustrated over someone else or nervous or something? It's something you should enjoy and something that you open yourself up to, rather than like really. Like, I mean, voice acting is acting. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to get into your character. You know, you work with your director. You have a story. You see incredible performances, and there's, people with expectations on you. So it is a really nerve-wracking experience, but it's same time, I just feel it's so fun because you can have a guy like one of my personal heroes in the business, Billy West, just on his show, Futurama. He does Zap Brannigan, the Professor, Fry, Zoidberg. He did Elmer Fudd in the Geico commercials. He did Bugs Bunny in the Space Jam, and he does all Ren and Stimpy. He does all these voices, and it's just this one guy, and I think that's just such an incredible talent. That's something that I'd like to work on, a talent I'd like to obtain,